Hey everybody, welcome! Another Yurt.Cast, episode 34 of the Ruby Moss Cottage podcast, recording from our yurt high up in the Smokies. So welcome, grab your cuppa and let's just settle in and chit chat for a few minutes. How have you been? It's December, and so this is not a vlogmas. I never do vlogmas. I don't simply have the time to do vlogmas. Or I guess I have the time. I don't want to make the time to do vlogmas. That's just a little too much into my daily routines. So this is my Christmas vlogmas episode. I'm going to do things a little bit different. So I will get into that as we proceed. But hello. If this is your first time, welcome to our yurt, our Christmas tree. This is our first Christmas in our yurt. So I wanted a tree. First of all, I didn't know how big of a tree that it could hold, where I needed to put it. I mean, I know in the center of the dome, the yurt under the dome, we could have had as tall as we could have got in here. But I wanted it here because our TV is here, and I wanted to be able to see it when we were sitting watching TV. So I knew that I guess that's about a 7-foot high size. I'm not sure. I'm really bad at that kind of stuff. But so I knew I could not have an overwhelming Christmas tree in here. So we got this one. It's not really big. As you can see, I'm sitting on a chair, and so it's big enough. But we have it propped, we have it up on blocks or something. I don't know how he rigged it. But, and of course, I don't know if you can hear that. My neighbor has decided to go down the mountain now on his four-wheeler. Never fails. Whenever I get ready to record, it's either going to rain or he's going to make a gazillion trips up and down. It's been quiet all day. My heater, our mini split, is running, so, and I also have a little space heater by my feet, and so between those two sounds and however many times he decides to take his dog up and down the mountain, it may be a little noisy. I hope not. Talking about our tree. So we bought a, and I do live trees. It's just, all the years that my children were growing up, we did very few live trees. We always did artificial, and I believe that it was simpler, and I put up so many trees then that they were all artificial, and they were beautiful, and I loved them, and I don't regret that. I always thought if I wanted the scent, I could burn a candle, which I still do. But here in the last probably 4 or 5 years, I have just fallen in love with a real tree. And so I've gotten rid of all the artificial trees, and so we have a live tree. But I didn't want a cut tree. I wanted one with a root ball so that we could plant it and always have it for our first year in the mountains. So it's not a tremendously large tree, but it's big enough. It's so cute. I love it. I call it my wabi sabi Christmas tree because it's perfectly imperfect. I mean, it's not grand. It's not decorator friendly, but it's us. It expresses our heart. Now, the decorations on it are all handmade ornaments, and maybe I will zoom in at some point and show you some of the handmade ornaments. And the reason why they're all handmade is because we do not have, like, all of my Christmas stuff. We have storage units for our belongings that would not fit in the yurt, because we don't know if we'll be here forever. We may someday take this down and build a log cabin here. I don't know. But so all the things that I love but just couldn't cram into here, they're still in storage. My Christmas stuff I have in my mother's attic because I wanted it to be separate. I wanted it to be easy to get to. And so the plan was Thanksgiving, when we went in, we were going to get the Christmas decorations that I wanted and bring them up and I could decorate. Well, as the story always goes, whatever you plan, never turns out. Our truck decided the week before Thanksgiving that the transmission was just going to start acting up. And so it has to be rebuilt. And though, you know, locally we can go, we just do not feel comfortable packing it up and going for long trips. So I have no Christmas decorations here. Now, the time before that, when we were there visiting, my mom had one box of our Christmas stuff in her garage, and it was outdoor lights. And I thought, okay, I'll grab these now because I can get the outside lit up and decorated, and then when we come for Thanksgiving, I'll just have to do the inside. So did that, thankfully, because it had all the lights that I needed for outside, plus it had enough lights to do my Christmas tree. That was good. So I could get a tree, I could put lights on my tree. And then I remembered all of my handmade ornaments I had kept with my crofting stuff in a cute little box, so that if I made some throughout the year, I could put them in the box and put them with all the handmaids. So my tree has all the handmade ornaments on it. Well, not all. I'm sure I have some handmade ornaments down through the years that the kids have given me in the other boxes, but these are all my crofty little ornaments. And then some that, this is going to be one of my favorites forever, but this is one that my mother-in-law gave me that I think it was her mother's, but it may not have been. But yeah, she gave me several to give to each of my daughters, and then this is mine, and I actually have another one of hers right here. So these, oh my gosh, I love them. They will forever be my treasure. I don't know that both of my daughters have gotten, so one of these may be for one of my daughters. I'm not sure. And I probably shouldn't have, and I don't even know what the back of my hair looks like in here. I've got my head. Sorry about that. So this is our Christmas tree. And then I didn't have my star, so I just got ribbon and put ribbon on it. I didn't have my icicles because they are all in storage, and I thought, well, there's no need to go buy icicles. I'll just make little ribbon icicles. Wabi sabi, and I love it. It's probably one of my favorite trees. And then one of the things, the bottom, and I will zoom in later, the bottom of it has my Cozy Memories blanket wrapped around it. Can you stand it? I mean, really? So many wonderful memories. And not only in the tree, wrapped around the bottom of the tree, and it being our first year up in the mountains, cold weather. We've had snow. Everything I dreamed of, except my family's not with me up here. And, you know, that's just life. And we are all going to make the best of it. And we are going home for Christmas. Well, at least that's the plan. I mean, if I don't get to go home for Christmas, you will not be seeing me on here for a long time because I'll be very depressed. Hopefully, we get to go home. I have a hair appointment, and another little tangent. I had a hair appointment the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, so I had to cancel that because we didn't go home. So there is gray, it's going to be a real chore to keep my hair going. And my hair is so thick. And so by the time I get home, I think it's the 22nd is my appointment. 21st, 22nd, somewhere around there. I'm going to be a chia pet. I mean, it's going to be huge. But it is what it is. Thankfully, I don't know very many people up here. And there's only 3 of us that live on this mountain full time, and we rarely see each other. So it'll be okay. I don't know where I even started. I don't even know if I introduced myself to you. If you are new, welcome. Welcome to our yurt. My name is Joyce/Ruby, whatever is easiest. This is a little crofty podcast, a lifestyle podcast, mainly about crofting, but I do weave in some of our adventures, some of our yurt life. We have, since the last Yurt-Cast, we did a little bit of tweaking to our kitchen. I took a before video, I think I took a during video, and then I took an after video. I'm gonna pop that in here at some point, I don't know when. And I'm sitting in a wooden chair, a fold-up wooden chair. It's an antique thing that I bought at an old church. A friend of mine, me and a friend went to Punxsutawney, PA one time, and I know, random, but she's a big groundhog. She's actually a writer, and she writes children's books about groundhogs. So we went there for an adventure and antiqued, and I bought one of these wooden folding chairs, and God, I guess they're things you used to sit on in Sunday school. I don't know, but they're very uncomfortable. But I wanted to sit in front of the Christmas tree for you. I didn't want to sit over in my little crofty nook area. So welcome to our yurt, and if you see me squirming, that's why. It's just that this chair is very uncomfortable. So, for my returning viewers, thank you, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrated, whatever you celebrate, may it be the best of all years, because this has been a humdinger of a year. However, we do have some good silver linings woven in. My sister is cancer-free, so if you have followed us for any time at all, you know that story, a little bit of it. She is now cancer-free, praise Jesus, and she has one more surgery this month, here in a week or so. And then I think that the biggest ordeals are behind her. Please, Jesus, please. So that is our big news. Our family is celebrating that. I'm going to be a grandmother again next year, so I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of COVID babies next year. But total surprise to all of us, parents included. So we are just thrilled about that. I really didn't know if I'd ever have any more, so this will be our 5th, and we're excited. So yeah, there have been some good things that have gone on this year, but whew, it's been a humdinger. And the crofting has been great, so that's good. But since this is going to be my vlogmas per se, I'm going to do things just a touch different. First of all, well, not first of all, one of the things I'm going to do, I don't have, you know me, I'm random, so I don't know if it's going to be in any sort of order. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a few of my favorite things. I've just pulled a few things together. And so I'll show you those. And then I'm only going to do what's in my bags, because those are like my Christmas knits, and I thought that would be fun. I'm not going to go into detail about what's out of my bags, but I do plan to shoot some video of what's out of my bags, and so I'll just show you those rather than wax poetic about them. And then that's it. I might share what's in my book bags. It's only one book, and then the one I'm reading, but you know, that's always fun to talk about. And yeah, so let's get started. Tell me how you've been. I'm dying to hear. I love all of your comments. I love this community. It is the best. We have a lot of dialogue that goes back and forth, and I love that. Thank you for reaching out and talking to me. That makes it feel like I'm not just a silly girl sitting in front of a camera rambling about her little pathetic life on top of a mountain, isolated from the rest of the world. Okay, let's talk about, let's talk about my book bag first. I never do book bag first, so let's talk about that, okay? I finished this book. Okay, I finished this book, Winter Solstice by Elin Hildebrand. I did not realize that this was the 4th book of the series, the 4th and final book of the series. I didn't realize that until I was at the end, and I will not be going back and reading the other 3 because I know how all their lives end up. But it was interesting. It's just, you may have even read some of the other books, but if you've read the other ones, this probably is really, really a good book. But it was just a cute little read. The Quinn family are celebrating the holidays together, and it is booked about based on the Quinn family. I think there's 4 children, so it's basically following their lives. I think it's really wrapping up the details of their lives. May have been why it was hard for me to get into it first, but I would suggest reading the other 3 and then reading this one, and I think then I could say good book. But okay book for now. Oops, didn't mean to throw it. And then I'm reading, I'm in a book club, virtual book club, on Instagram, a group, and we are reading this book called The 7.5 Lives, let it pop up here because I'm gonna, of Evelyn Hardcastle. No, The 7.5 Deaths of oops, I knew it was gonna do that. The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Let me pull up the cover again so you can see it. But it is, okay, The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Now, if you are stateside, it's The 7.5 Deaths. If you are Europeans, I think it is The 7 Deaths. And the reason being, of course, I had to Google, is that when it went to publish here, there was already a book out that was close to the 7 deaths or 7 something. So they made it the 7.5 Deaths. Same story, but I'm really enjoying this book. It is a mystery twisted kind of thing, almost like a whodunit, almost like a Clue kind of thing. So that's what I'm gathering. It is very, very, very good. I would highly suggest that book. I'm reading it on my Kindle, which I'm not a big Kindle lover. I like to hold the book in my hand, but they were starting it and I needed it and I didn't want to wait for it to get up here. You know what? What I'm finding is it takes a lot longer when I order things from Amazon or Target or wherever. It takes it a lot longer to get here than what it did when I was in Charlotte. And I think, and this is just a little Joyce theology going on here, I think that the UPS driver is afraid to come up the mountain. And so I think that if he thinks, oh, it's going to be cloudy, oh, it might be slippery, oh, it's going to be really, 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 really windy, I don't think he comes up. Maybe that's just wrong. Maybe it's just taking longer because of the pandemic, but that's what I've come up with because, so I needed the book. And so I just put it on my Kindle. But I do wish it was one that I would have in my library because I'm really enjoying that one. Book bag, short and sweet. I don't think I've read any other. Oh, I'm reading another knitting no, it's not a mystery. It's a little knitting thing, but it's on my Kindle as well. But I'll tell you about that later because I don't remember the name of it. And I put it down. I stopped reading it to start reading this. All right. Let's get into what's in my bags. I am doing a lot of knitting for people lately. Not so much. I want to clear up something because I've reached out to a maker and she has not responded to me, and I don't know if it's because she has not had the time to read my comment or if she is just ignoring it. I don't know. I'm going to clear my name in case there's any gossip out there in the knitting community that I'm stealing patterns and knitting them. I am not. I am knitting socks for people who have seen my socks and say, I would love to have a pair of those. Would you knit me a pair? It's not like I am saying, hey, I'm knitting this pattern. You can order a pair. I would be glad to knit for anyone who wants knitwear and they are not a knitter, or maybe they're a knitter. Maybe they just don't like to knit socks. Maybe they don't like to knit a sweater. Maybe whatever. They may say, if they ask me to knit them something, I'm going to knit it because I want to put hand knits in the hands of everyone. Sorry, it said potential spam, and I know that it would not have gone off until I swiped it off. I want to put hand knits onto the feet, onto the bodies of everybody who wants them, whether they are too busy to knit them, whether they don't know how to knit them, whether they just don't want to knit them. So I'm not promoting any patterns as mine. I am not saying I am making this sweater, I am making these socks, I am making this hat that is someone else's pattern. Now you can order, and I'm not doing that. And the pattern I am using is a free Patton pattern. It's an activity sheet. So I guess I need to reach out to Patton and make sure it is okay that I even sell it under the way I'm doing it. I don't know. But I don't even know if that makes sense, but I've cleared my mind and my conscience. I do not feel like I am infringing on anybody's copyrights. So having said that, I'm going to show you, some have already been sent off to people, but these are the two, one of the pair, these two pair, they're just onesies. I've got the mates down there. No, yeah. These two pair are going off for Christmas orders for people who have ordered them. So let me put these sock blockers for the closest ones that I could grab. So let me stick these on the sock blockers. This is one pair that's going out the door. Aren't they fun? So this is the no heel sock that I knit, and it is the Patton pattern. And it's a free pattern. And another little voicemail message. It is a free pattern, so you can Google it if you want to knit them yourself. It is, it's a Patton. If you go on Ravelry to Patton and put in, I think you just put in tube sock, heelless tube sock, their pattern will pop up, and it's free, and you can knit them, or you can pay someone to knit them, whichever. So there's that, and then I will stick the other one on here for you to see. And I said I wasn't going to do any what's out of my bags, didn't I? So I'm not going to bother to do this. I will show them to you later. But yeah, those are the finished. These are the socks that I'm talking about that I knit for people if they want me to. Now I have a few more pair on the needles. One is for a customer. I've got so many bags here of things I'm knitting that I don't even know what's in them. I should just wait and randomly pick them up. I think this might be, yeah, this is one of the pair that I just started. Oh, you can't even see, but it's going to be random yarns mixed in with that. I don't even know why. I may have to edit that out. I don't even know why I showed you that, but I can show you this. It's in a bag, and one of these bags are my favorite things. These are the Bed of Roses bags. Her bags are superb. The quality is amazing. This is like the Scandinavian Christmas bag, and I love all things Scandinavian. So that is one thing that's in my bags. Okay, so the other two socks are a little more exciting because I got a little bit more done on those. These are for my husband. And so he's been asking me since mid-October, when are you going to knit me some socks? When are you going to knit me some socks? And so I thought, okay, I'll knit you some Christmas socks. So I pulled the yarn and he gave his approval. He liked them. And I said, so I started knitting and he was excited. And then orders started coming in and I just told him, I said, I've got to put your socks down for a while because I have too many orders coming in. And of course he didn't mind. He said, sure, I understand that. I'm trying to dig out but I did finish one sock of his and he has not seen it. I am quite excited because he does not think that I'm knitting on his socks. Now, when he's not here, I'll grab them real quick and I'll knit on them just for a little bit. And then, so I plan to give them to him on Christmas. But here is his knitted sock that's finished. These are his Christmas ones. And I did little snow flakes. Well, they're supposed to be snowballs is what they're supposed to be on the toes. So that is his Christmas sock. So I've got this one done and I've got this much done of the second one. quite a ways to go because I knit these to about 18 or 19 inches long. I think this one was even longer because, you know, he's a man and he does not like short socks unless they're shorty socks, but that just slip down in his shoes. But I'm excited. I hope he likes. He has seen like probably this much and he liked the colors, but he has no idea that I changed up the toe a little bit. And so that is in my bags, and it's being housed in what bag? Oh, this is just a cute little bag. I've had this for years. It's from the, okay, I'm gonna have to put it on because I think I know the name, but I don't want to say it in case I'm wrong. And I haven't looked for a while, but okay, so I'm glad I didn't say it because I would have been wrong. Knit Run Bit. Okay, Knit Run Dig. Okay, obviously I've had this for so long I don't even know who the maker is, but it's a cute little Christmas bag. I love Christmas bags. I love bags that go along with occasions. So this one on the inside, it's just kind of got that print, and then it's got little deer all over it. And it's a little drawstring bag. So that is one of my Christmas knits that I'm working on secretly. Then, I'm gonna set this right here. Then I'm knitting on me a pair of socks. But I'm not getting to knit very much at all. But these are kind of like my little whimsical candy cane socks. I'm putting red and white in between all the colors. This kind of reminds me of gingerbread, and the rest of them just kind of remind me of whimsical Christmas candies. So that's my Christmas sock, and I hope it'll be finished by Christmas, but if it isn't, I'll have it for next Christmas. I've never knit myself a pair of socks. So I'm excited. I was really excited, and now I'm still excited. They're not going one lone needle. That came from my husband's socks. I'll probably have time. I've determined I'm not knitting on anything else but these few little knits that are in my bag. No new cast-ons, and this is not in a bag. It just sits out in a basket because it goes so much with my tree that I thought it would be fun Christmas decor. So that is Christmas knitting. And then this little bag here is by Olivia from Handmade by Olivia. This Handmade Life, I think, on Instagram. Had it for years too. I had it for so long I had to go back on Etsy and look it up and see who made the bag. But it's kind of like a patchwork bag. It's so cute. I love it. But in this one, and I've not gotten far. As a matter of fact, the second clue is out. This is an Advent knit by Acrafterstale. And if you knit hers, if you knit her Advent knit, it's free now, but I think it goes for purchase on October 24th, something like this. They're going to be mittens, I think, and I'm just now getting started, so I'm behind a clue. To keep up with these, just follow me on Instagram. To keep up with all of this, just follow me on Instagram, because I don't know, I highly doubt I'm going to get another podcast in before Christmas. Just because I've got so much knitting to do, and baking and shopping, and my daughter's coming up this week. She's not been here yet. This is our oldest daughter, the one with the two girls. The girlies have been here, but she's not been here. So she's coming up, and I'm so excited about that. So that'll be time that I won't be knitting. And so I don't know if I'll get another podcast in, is what I'm trying to get out. Now, this is another Advent knit, I think. Yes, this is Sofia Kammeborn's. And this is another bag by Bed of Roses. This was her last year. I did her Advent last year, and this is the bag that came with that. It's one of my faves. So this is Sofia's, from Sofia Kammeborn, and it's her Advent knit. So I didn't do any Advent calendars this year, but I am doing 2 Advent knits. And there are so many more I want to do, but they'll have to wait until the end of, after the first of the year. I can still do them. But this one by Sofia, I'm almost finished with clue number 2. I think I have about 8 more rows to do of clue number 2, but it's a hat. But this is it. Isn't it cute? Little trees on it. I did not do gauge, so I hope it fits. But I'm having fun knitting it, so if it doesn't fit, I'll give it away. But I think it will. I do all of my knitting, my socks, my mittens, anything that has a band to it that needs to be fitted. I do it with the Stretchy bind off, the Turkish cast on, I think it is, the German cast on. Just check the notes, I'll tell you what it is. You know, you do this stuff so much that it just becomes second nature to you, and then you forget the details, like the name of the cast on, or the name of the stitch, or the name of the pattern, or the name of the maker. And all of my knits, I have cute little Christmas progress keepers. So can you see that? That's a little gingerbread man. Cookie, iced cookie. And I don't know who made that. I'd have to look that up. Maybe I will and put it in the show notes as well. But, so there's that. I love the back of color work. I love to look at the back of it. Isn't that pretty? It's just as pretty. You know, it's like, needlework isn't always as pretty on the back side. I guess maybe if you're really good at it, it is. Like my friend Treehouse Knits, Rachel, I'm sure that your back side is as beautiful as your front side. I'm talking about your cross stitch. But mine isn't. In my needlework, it's not. It's like, what do they say? Business in the front, party in the back. That's what my my needlework looks like. But my knitting, my color work knitting is prettier. So it's just like, oh, I love it. I love it. And there are some big floats in this, and I did not tack them down as I went because I'm experimenting to see if long floats will work for me. I know it's a no-no in a lot of people, but for me, I'm just giving it a go. And I'm using wools that I had in my stash. Everything that I've been doing is from stash. I think I've said that over and over because I've got to get this stash knit down. I've got to get the stash sewn up. I've got so much stash. Okay, that's all Christmassy stuff that I would like to have done before Christmas. Oh, and there's one other thing that someone has asked me to do for them. They bought the kit and then they mailed it to me because they don't know how to knit. And when she said she had bought a kit, she thought she could learn to knit, but she couldn't. Would I mind if she would pay me, but would I mind knitting it for her? I said, sure, send it. I didn't promise any timeline. And then when I got it and I opened up the box, I was so excited because it's by We Are Knitters. And I absolutely love We Are Knitters. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing a duster from them today that I knit several years back, and I will show you that. But this is the one that she wanted me to knit, and I'm not even going to try and butcher that name. But it's a huge oversized sweater, and the yarn she picked is absolutely beautiful, and it's a dream to knit. So I'm just getting started. But yeah, so I would like to have this to her by Christmas. That is my goal. She's a new mom, and I just, you know, new moms, they need extra love. So my goal is to get this off to her. I'd like to get it out next week, but I don't know. That will be a lot of committed knitting to just this project. So we'll see. So that's all the Christmassy knits that I am doing, that I want to have wrapped up and done, either out the door, off the needles, whatever, by Christmas Eve. No pressure here, none. Why do I do this to myself? I don't know, because I love it. I don't work well under pressure unless it's knitting, and then I will stay focused, like laser focused. Other than that, I like life to just move and groove, smooth, you know. That's not life, and that's why I'm usually like, ah. But I do have one more thing that I'm knitting, and I would like to have it done by Christmas, but it's probably not going to be done by Christmas. So maybe the goal will be New Year's Eve. And since we don't party on New Year's Eve, maybe we'll take a walk on the mountain or sit by the fire pit, and then it'll be done. But it is the shift, I think it's the shift cowl by Andrea Mowry. And I've shown you this before, but I'll just show you the progress that I've made. It is so pretty. So this is where I started down here, and I've worked my way up to here. Now, I know that it's going to connect because it's a cowl. I just don't know how it's going to connect. But I love it. Oh my goodness, this is so cozy, and it's going to be warm. You just have this is all from Stash, but I love it. Oh, I love it. I have so many things on my needles. You know, like this is just a little bit of it. I've got blankets either on my needles, on my hooks, socks. I have found, excuse me for a minute while I'll just set my yarn over here. I was going to dive for the yarn ball that had just escaped, but now I'm wrapped in yarn. Excuse me. There. I have socks. I have found 2 pair of socks in bags that I've started that I need to finish. So I've committed to myself, other than a Christmas Day cast on and a New Year's Day cast on, because I always do that. Oops. Uh-oh, I just did something to the space heater. Oh, there it is. Other than those 2 cast-ons, I'm not casting anything new on until I have got some of my, in my mind I said everything off my needles, but I know that's not happening. But like, I've got a stack of stuff that needs mended. I've got stuff that I've started sewing that needs finished. I've got so much stuff that I'm getting further and further behind on. So I'm going to practice discipline. I'm going to learn discipline. Learn, remember, is your word for this year, this birth year. And I'm going to get some of this stuff off my needles before I cast on. And my cast on stack is growing as I see things on Instagram and as I find pattern books that I'm flipping through. Oh my gosh, there's so many things I want to cast on, but I'm not going to do it. I have to finish up some of this stuff. That's what I'm telling myself. Got to do it. Got to do it. Okay, this is something that I am working on too. It's not knitting, but it is kind of Christmassy because it's oh shoot. I know she watches it, like first person that watches it. And I'm going to give it to her. Oh well. I'll just show you. This is going to be for my sister. When she saw me starting to work on it, she died for it. And I said, okay. And in my mind, I thought, okay, I'm going to finish it and I'm going to give it to her. But it's a paint by number that I'm working on. And I'm almost finished. I actually only have one more color to do, and they're whites. They're the number 10, and they're the whites. But it's this bowl of yarn sitting on a table. I've really enjoyed doing that. I love paint by number. I'm not an artist, but paint by number I can do. So this is going to my sister. She will put it up in her crofty little room, in her happy room. And I will be so glad that I gave it to her. This is a paint by number by 123 Easy Art, or Easy Art 123, or something like that. But yeah, they have great kits. And I am going, you can also, you probably know this, but you can also send your own photographs in, and they'll turn it into a puzzle or a cross stitch or paint by number. So I've got some, I don't know if you can see this this painting here. I did that. And it always reminds me of Spain when I look at it. As a matter of fact, my granddaughter, when she was up here last, she said, Gigi, that reminds me of our trip to Spain. And I said, me too. So we took a train ride from Barcelona up to, or down to, I don't know which way, Valencia, and along the Mediterranean. And and then plus all of the places just had these cascading geraniums that just cascaded over their balconies. They were just so beautiful. So I want to take some of my pictures that we took in Spain and send them off to have turned into paint by numbers. That's on the list this year. So let's do my favorite things. There's not a lot of things here, but just this week as I was just doing things around the yard, I was like, oh, I love this. And a lot of my stuff is not here. So my Christmas stuff, it's going to be like last Christmas, we had sold our house and we were at my daughter's. So I didn't have any of my Christmas stuff unpacked. This Christmas, I don't have any of my Christmas stuff unpacked. Next Christmas is going to be like a major holiday feast. I mean, it's going to be like the biggest shopping spree ever because I'm going to completely have forgotten things that I had. And my heart is going to be so warmed when I'm reunited with things that I've loved down through the years. But so this isn't even old things that have been dear to me. These are just kind of new things. One of the things that's in my cuppa, and thank you so much. I do not remember who told me. I'm sure I would remember if I sat down and thought about it, but one of you said, when I had talked about the tea that I was drinking on episode before last, I think, and it was by, who is this by? My brain. It's by the people, I use all of their teas. I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need these. The Republic of Tea. Anyway, you told me, this one lady said, you've got to try their holiday teas. I'd never tried their holiday teas, but this is Sip and Be Merry. And there's a light glaring on it. So there, Sip and Be Merry. It's delicious. It is a premium black tea with caramel, vanilla, and cardamom. It's good. Like every day, several times a day. Now, I bought this at World Market. She goes online and she says she stocks up for her year. I'm going to have to do that because I cannot imagine not having, I might just let it be like a holiday real treat. But it comes with 50 bags, so I'm in good shape. But they have some other flavors. I think there's like 2 other flavors that I do want to stop by and get and see. We don't have them around here, so I have to get them when I'm in Charlotte. But yeah, this, if you like hot tea and if you just like this party in your mouth kind of taste, you need to try this. That's very, very, very good. So that is one of my favorite things. Another thing of mine that's just my favorite, and I know it's very generic. I actually have, let me see if I can pull this up here. I have one burning now. This is by Yankee Candle, but I love anything that's balsam or anything that has to do with the smell of a Christmas tree. That's it. That's this time of the year, that's my thing. But I also love this candle. This, my daughter gave it to me for my birthday, but Leaves is my favorite Bed Bath & Beyond, no, Bath & Body Works. I always get that confused. Bath & Body Works candles, I love. Leaves is my fall one that I go to, but Winter is my winter scent, and it's in this cute little holder. But this is the Winter. I almost wish this was just like smell-o-vision, smell-o-YouTube. Oh my lands, it's so good. It's so good. So if you are looking for a good winter candle, because I mean, I've used it for so many years that it just brings back Christmas vibes to me. but it's not one like the Christmas tree scents, the balsams. I put that away after Christmas because it's obviously a Christmas scent. This is not. This is like a winter smell, just a cold, refreshing smell. I love it. So this is one of my favorite things that I get every year. I have to have more candles of this scent. Okay, so I have two more things I'm just going to show you really quickly. One of the things my sister bought me just recently. This week it arrived in the mail. I'm in love. Thank you, Sharon. It's this little packet right here. And when you undo it, are you ready? Let me turn it this way. It's the Denise short tip needles, the interchangeables. Oh, it's beautiful. It's fun. This is the cables. These are the cables, different lengths. And I love these. I've never used Denise needles before. I love these cables. And I love this so much. These are the short tips. I eventually want to get the long tips. And I love the case that it's in. I mean, like, do I not have the best sister in the world? My sisters are awesome. But that is one of my favorite things. And I think she ordered these off of Amazon. So I can try and put the link below. But the Denise needles, and they have them, these are the rainbow colors. I think they have them like in pastels too. If rainbow's not your thing, I think they have them in pastels too. And then another one of my favorite things, I've used this for years and years and years daily. And it's my Jesus Calling devotional. See, it's a mess. It is literally a mess, but I'm a mess. So that's why I need this every day of my life. But they're just short little devotionals. So if you're looking for a good devotional, last year, 2018 was bad. 2019 was really bad. And I said I was not going to read this devotional again, that I was going to get a new one because I didn't like some of the things it said in it. But I couldn't find one that I really liked. And so I ended up going, okay, I'm just going to read this. I've got it. And it was good to me this year. So it seems like it's always what I need. So yeah, if you're looking for a good, encouraging, short little devotional each day, Jesus Calling is a really, really, really good one. They've got them in leather. They've got them in paperback. They've got them. You can even download the app on your phone. I have that downloaded so that when I'm traveling, I don't have to carry this with me. But those are a few of my favorite things. All right, that's it. I don't know how long. Wow, I didn't think it would be that long of a podcast. It's 49 minutes already, and I haven't even added in my out of my bags. I don't know if I'm going to add those in this episode or if I'll save those for another episode, just because up here, my internet service is not the best. And so the longer the video, the longer it takes to upload to YouTube. And so I might want to just shoot it through. I will try to put in a photo of me. This is the duster. And I'm not going to even try to stand up on this chair to show you because it would fall. And then I'd fall into my tree. But I'll try to go outside and get a video of it so that you can see it. I use it as a bathing suit cover-up. I use it as a duster around the house. I use it a lot. I love it. It is a We Are Knitters kit. Love, love, love. If you want a good company that has good quality yarn, go on there and order one of their kits. They are the best. This is cotton, and I'm not a lover of cotton, but I did enjoy working with this. And the one sweater, well, the sweater that I showed you earlier, that's a kit. The same lady who wanted me to knit this had me knit her baby, the Loris beanie, or I think it was the Loris beanie. And I've already sent that out, and I don't think I even took a picture of that, but it was so cute, and I just wanted her to have it with the cold weather, and so I've already sent that off to her. But yeah, that's a great company. So I would highly recommend. I've not used all of their yarn, but I would highly recommend ordering from them. There's so much on there that I want to order and try, but I've got to get some things finished. And I love their yarn. I don't know. I don't know how to de-stash my yarn. I cannot knit any more than I'm knitting now. And I need some projects that I want to knit. I just don't have enough yarn for, so that means buying more yarn. Yeah. Okay. I hope that you all have a Merry Christmas and that you get to celebrate with family and friends. Oh, this COVID is awful. But please stay safe, be smart, and enjoy your loved ones. I hope that you get to spend time with them. Share with me a few of your favorite things. I need to know too. I need to know what's out there. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. I am on Ravelry, but I basically get on there to buy patterns and get off. I really don't socialize much on there. Subscribe here. That will help me. Yeah, hopefully I can get back on here before Christmas, but realistically, I'm saying no. If I do, it'll just be a pleasant surprise for the two of us, okay? Maybe by New Year's, maybe I can, I know, maybe by then, I don't know. But follow me on Instagram, we can connect there, and you can leave me messages there, and I'll post what I'm working on there. And until then, in everything that you do, just take it one stitch at a time. Cheers.